All right. Well, thanks everyone for being on this call or listening to the recording. We're so excited to have the chance to share our hearts with you tonight about why we decided to partner with a company called Shaklee. I'm going to go ahead and open us up in prayer. One of the focuses of this call tonight is really to share our hearts in terms of we're all faith-based women in here. And so that was really important to us as we were considering which company to join with, which team to join with, because we really wanted to make sure that our values aligned. So I'm going to go ahead and open us up in prayer. That's what I like to do on our team calls, and I know these ladies are the same. So we'll start there and then we'll get going. God, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to gather tonight and just to share a little bit of what we're passionate about. I thank you for leading each and every one of us here, whether we are already ambassadors or we're considering it, God, you know, the path that you have for us. And I just pray for each person who is listening into this call tonight, or listening to the recording, that you would just make it clear if this is a next step that you have for them. I pray that we would be able to just share anything that might be helpful as they're making their decision so that they can get all their questions answered. And I just continue to pray for our team that you would lead us, that you would help our team to grow, that we could serve others in this space and just be a blessing to our communities and to the world. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna basically kick this off and introduce myself, and then we have three other ambassadors from our team who are gonna be sharing a little bit about their story. And then after that, we're gonna go through a brief presentation just so you can get to know a little bit more about Shaklee. I know a lot of people don't even really know what the company is. I know I really didn't when I was starting to dive in, and so it'll be fun for us to share, and then feel free to ask questions. There is a chat feature here too if you're on the call live. So feel free to put any questions that you have in there. We can answer them either along the way or at the end, whatever it makes sense. But yeah, if we haven't met before, my name is Amber Kuiper, and I am a mom of four. I live in Naples, Florida. We moved from Minnesota about 6 years ago. And so we live in Florida now. And I originally got into network marketing, 9 years ago. I had four kids under four, and I'd always been passionate about fitness and wellness and really didn't have intentions to have a career outside the home, but ended up wanting that outlet for myself. And so I was previously partnered with another health and wellness company. And about 5 months ago now, I moved over to partner with Shaklee. And, I will say that the previous company that I was with, towards the end, there were some things that were kind of unsettling for my spirit in terms of how some things were handled corporately and just different decisions, the direction that they were headed. I didn't necessarily align 100%, even though I was so grateful and I loved my time there. There were just, when you can kind of tell the direction things are headed and you get a little bit uneasy about it. So when I was considering making a change, one of the things that I had to be absolutely solid on was making sure the leadership was a group of people that I could trust, because I had kind of lost trust where I was before. And so that was kind of where I started. Because for me, I don't necessarily, as a Christian woman, feel like I need to be aligned with a Christian company, so to speak, but I do need to know that the values are in check with what I believe to be true from an integrity standpoint. And so that was where I started, was just asking questions about their leadership. And, if you want to, I did this first. I like Googled about the CEO, who is this Roger Barnett guy? And I tried to kind of look into that. And then I did know some corporate contacts who I trusted from previously, who had worked at the company I was at years ago. And I started to ask them questions, ask them about the culture. Then I started to kind of peek in and learn about the ambassadors and what they were all about. But what I was really impressed by was that the overall culture of Shaklee really seemed to be focused on servant-hearted leadership and how they can take care of their people. From the corporate CEO standpoint, that was really cool to see. But then also from just seeing how excited these Shaklee ambassadors were. A lot of them, this company has been around for 68 years. And so seeing how excited they still were after all these years and how they really trusted the leadership really said a lot to me. So, for me, like we said, all of us are women of faith. And for me, my story with the Lord started when I was little, when I was, probably three, or I think pretty much when I came out, I was in the church nursery somehow. My best friend and I joke because we were literally born within a month of each other and we grew up in the church nursery together. And so that's kind of how my story started, but really dove in deeper to my faith towards middle school, high school, and then beyond. So for me, I've learned enough along the way that I have to be putting the Lord first in my life. And when I don't do that, things don't work out. And so that's why when I started this new chapter, I was like, you know what? I have to make sure that I'm just really solid about this company that I'm joining, that they're going to be around, that they are who they say they are. And, I've been here for 5 months, and I have to say, I've been so impressed, so impressed, which is how they continue to lead with integrity, how they always are listening too. I think that's been really huge, is that you have a company that listens when you have suggestions of how to make things better. They're always thinking about how they can serve more people in a bigger way, but also noticing the people that they already have. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and how I decided to join Shaklee. I'm gonna pass it off to Meredith.
Hello. I'm so excited that you all are here tonight and just want to say I'm so grateful that you're taking time out of your evening tonight. Hopefully, it's been a much needed little break from other things going on in the world. So, my name is Meredith Lohmeyer, and I have been partnered with Shaklee for maybe a little over 3 weeks. I don't even remember, but it hasn't been very long. But I am 40 years old. I am a law enforcement wife. I've been married to my husband for 17 years. We have two kids. We have a daughter named Presley. She is 10. And then we have a son named Gavin, and he's 7. And this year we started a homeschool kind of hybrid situation. And so that's been kind of an adjustment. But so I guess you can say partial homeschool mom. But I came from another wellness company. Most of my guests that are here on the call know I was with Body, which is formerly Beachbody, for the last almost 10 years. And before that, I actually worked as an elementary teacher for 11 years. So that was kind of my first career, but always had just a very strong passion for health and fitness. While I was teaching elementary school, I was also a personal trainer at a gym and teaching classes in the evenings at a gym. So health, wellness, fitness has always just been a huge passion of mine. So about 30 days ago, I guess, we had a big announcement from my former company that just completely rocked our world. And it was devastating. But as a follower of Jesus, I knew where my hope was. And so even through that devastation and just trying to figure out, okay, the career that I've, been involved with for the last almost 10 years now is basically dissolving. Where do I look next? I knew that God would lead me. And so I just spent some serious time in prayer, just really getting still before the Lord. And kind of like Amber, I've had a relationship with the Lord for a very long time, since I was very little. And so I knew that he would lead me. And so just in all of that prayer and waiting time and research, I started doing some research. A lot of doors were closed, but this door was left open with Shaklee. And I had followed Amber a little bit. We kind of knew each other from our previous company, not well, but I knew who she was, and I knew that she was faith-based. I knew that she had made that transition a few months ago. And so she was somebody that I just trusted based on who I knew her to be through social media. And we had lots of conversations. I asked her probably 5 million questions. And I just knew that this was where I was supposed to be. It was a very peaceful decision. And even just being here for a few weeks now, I can honestly say that I know this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I really believe that Body was a stepping stone to where I'm at now. And it's just so exciting to feel that peace and that sense of expectancy at what the Lord's going to continue to do here, and where our team here is headed. And so, just to kind of wrap up a little bit, I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about just a little more about the faith aspect of what led me here. I really believe, based on studying the Bible, learning God's word, that as Christians, we are called to show up differently. We are called to not look like the world. And we are not here building our own kingdoms on earth. We're here to build God's kingdom. And I've already noticed this through the conversations that we get to have here, through the people and the families that we get to serve. When I started researching the products and the leadership of the company, kind of like what Amber shared, and I learned about just the various certifications that the products have, which we're going to touch on a little bit tonight, I bet. Things that I didn't really even understand before I started doing my research, like EWG verified and beyond organic. Like I had to research and figure out, okay, what do these things mean? And then I started using some of the products myself before I made the decision to come here. I just quickly became confident that this was a place that really does bring true wellness to the world. And the fact is that healthy people can be used so much more readily by God. And so being behind that mission of just being able to help people be healthier. And if there were ever a time that families need to be more healthy, it is now. And so that's what led me here. So I guess I'm turning it over to Kelsey.
Well, hello. I feel like a lot of my story sounds a lot like theirs. I am a mom of four. I've been married for 13 years. I have a 10-year-old daughter and then identical twin girls that are 7. And then we had a little Florida baby 5 years later. He's 2. We lived in Florida for 4 years, and Kansas City is our home, and we're back here in Kansas City. Go Chiefs. And so I worked as a registered nurse for 7 years. That's what I went to college to do. That's what I thought I was going to do forever. And I quickly got into the field and I realized like health is so important to me, but I really wanted to be more on the preventative side of health. And so that's when I found my first company, which was Body. And I was at Body for 11 years. And health, fitness, all the preventative side of things is just what fueled me. And things just had shifted, and I just wasn't feeling as like that was where God was leading me anymore. I was just feeling I would spend time in prayer and honestly very confused for a long time because that's where I thought I was going to be like the 90-year-old woman still working out to like P90X and Turbo Fire. Like that's what I thought. And so when I felt like things were shifting for me and that God was leading me somewhere new, I honestly like didn't know what to think and I didn't know what was going to be next for me. And so Amber had actually reached out to me and shared with me that she was going to be making this move. And before she shared that with me, I had already been looking into Shaklee. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I felt like that was an answered prayer to what I was supposed to do. And Amber and I I feel like way back. I feel like we probably would have been besties in high school, but we don't go back that far. But I just felt like I knew she was faith-based. I knew that that is what God was leading me to, was something bigger. And as far as that, I really wanted to be surrounded by women who prayed, women who put God first, who put God first in their business and in their business and in their family and just like in everything that they do. And that is when I felt like this was the right thing for me, is when I felt like that was going to be my best move. Just after a lot of prayer with that. And then obviously looking into the company itself, I think for me, when I was learning about health and fitness, I was all about protein and looking at all of these things. And then as I've grown in my health journey, I have realized that it's more than just the protein count. It really is looking beyond even just organic. And we're going to talk more about what it means to be beyond organic, but just all the testing that goes into Shaklee products leaves me feeling like it's a company that leads with truth and integrity. And that's a company that I want to be behind. And that's a company that I want to serve people with is knowing that these are going to be quality products. So I guess that allows me now to pass it on to Christine.
Hello. I am going to kick off by saying as the same thing is that I think a lot of us have a very similar background as to our faith and everything else. But so my story is going to be very similar. But anyways, I'm Christine Taylor, and I have three little ones, and I live in Naples. We just recently moved, so we actually moved here last year. So it's only been a year. And actually it's funny because Amber, I had met through Body, but so when I knew that we were going to move here, I barely knew her and I'd reached out trying to figure out sort of where we were going to move to. So anyways, it was just like ironic we're both here. And we ended up on the same team because I'll get there, but we were not when we were with Body. So so I am married to my high school sweetheart. We've been together for like 25 years. We joke and say we've been together longer than we've been apart now. But I have a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, almost 6, and then a like 16-month-old. So I was a teacher too. Meredith, is funny because I did not know your whole story, but I actually was a first grade teacher for 7 years. And while I was a teacher, I got my personal training certification, and I actually opened my own little boot camp company in Dallas, in the Frisco area, and I did an LLC and all the things. And I actually would go teach that at 5:30 in the morning and then go blow dry the sweat into my hair and go teach first grade. So, I love group fitness, and actually that's like sort of what led me to Body, was group fitness. But so I have been I was with Body for about 5 years, and in the network marketing industry. But what about same sort of story, but like about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I just did not feel the same in my headspace as to just bringing people on and being able to share about the opportunity and things like that, because I just wasn't confident anymore in the opportunity that I could help someone grow inside of the previous company. And so I began to pray about it a lot. And I will be truthfully honest. I had no desire to go back to network marketing. I sort of was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. I even told Amber that. I wanted to do my own thing. So I did it back when I was in Frisco, and I was just like, I can do my own thing. I want to do my own thing. But I prayed a lot about it. And for me, it was one of those things that I felt a little unsettled to go try to launch my own thing, but also scared to get back into network marketing. And I know some people can feel that, because of sort of where things had taken me inside of my previous company with Body. So anyways, I actually got the opportunity to meet with someone inside of corporate with Amber. And I will tell you, I had prayed before that call, and I was like, God, please give me, a very vivid answer, because I was very much like, I don't know that I want to do this. And it was so funny because that entire call, I just felt like the culture and everything about that call was so different than anything I had been a part of so far. And the one thing he said to me, he was like, well, if you're anything like me, you'll probably want to sleep on it and pray about it. And I was like, that is just such a breath of fresh air, because that's not something that would have been said to me in the previous company. And honestly, it's not something that gets said to you very often, I feel like, when you're in the work environment. So to have someone inside of corporate say, well, if you're anything like me, you can pray about it and let me know. And I was just like, okay. And so I walked away from that call, and I just felt like God had given me this peace and this overwhelming, I'm putting you here. I'm showing you, I'm opening every single door for you to see that this is where you're supposed to go. And then also, I wasn't sure I wanted to get back into social media, because I had sort of taken for a year. I wasn't posting anymore. I didn't do stories. I really didn't post to my feed. And I wasn't sure I wanted to do that again, but it's funny because during all of this going on, not only did God like show me that during this call, but I had probably like 6 or 7 different people randomly message me, just saying that they miss seeing me on stories and they miss seeing me being a light and things like that. And I was just like, one day I cried about it and I was just like, okay, God. And I literally said, okay, God, I hear you. I see you. And that leads to what I wanted to share about too with the faith aspect of everything is, I think sometimes we can get in our head, like social media can be overwhelming. It can be hard. And sometimes you might even feel like, well, am I supposed to do this? Or, like, am I taking away? Or, just like you can get in your head about social media. And I will tell you this, like, what you don't realize is on the other side of it is that you might be being a light for others that are in a dark place that need your personality and your bright, just happy self. And you might not realize on a day to day basis that by you showing up with your faith, sharing about God, sharing, the Bible verse that you're reading, or sharing I used to be really good in the morning about sharing my devotional, and I've not been doing that because of having Ella, but someday I'll get back to that. But you don't realize how much that can be a light to others. And so I truly believe that, sometimes we need to step back and not get in our head so much with social media and realize that maybe God is trying to use us to be a light into this world through social media. And it can be a good thing. And so anyways, I think that, I grew up in the church, and just a little bit of my history with that is, when I was 7, I accepted the Lord and Savior or God as the Lord and Savior of my life. And I think that it's one of those things that I've always wanted to be able to lead with, and being a part of a team now that opens in prayer and just will literally pray for you and get on the phone and pray over you is huge. And I think that it's just something that I have yet to get to be a part of. And it's just such a blessing to me. So I think that's it. I'll pass it over to Amber because I know we're going to go through some of the slides. So.
Oh, yes. Thank you guys for sharing. So good even though I've heard your stories before, just to hear them again, I feel like every time you just are reminded of God's goodness and in the little details. And I think for me, like along the way with deciding, what business to do, it's like that's the coolest part of it all are those little details, the little affirmations that happen. And you're just like, that literally could not have happened without God orchestrating everything. So, thanks for sharing all of that. We're gonna now, yeah, just go through. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna just go through a brief presentation. We're not gonna cover every last text on these slides, but what we're gonna do, can you guys see that now? Okay. What we'd like to do is just basically give an overview about Shaklee because, like I said, when I first heard about this, I was kind of like, Shaklee, I didn't even know that company existed. And so the reason for that, I wanted to touch on that to start, is it is an older company. It's been around for 68 years. And the reason why a lot of us have not heard about it is because the people that originally built the company in terms of network marketing distributors, they were not on social media. You can imagine maybe your mom or your grandma, and they're not always the quickest to want to hop on social media. Well, that's what happened at Shaklee is that they had all these people sharing. The company was successful. But people our age or people that are just kind of in the network marketing space or have heard of other companies may not have heard of Shaklee because they weren't on social media. So over the last several years, their CEO has really made this reinvestment into the company to bring it up to today's marketing and all of that. So the last 5 years specifically, they've basically done a complete overhaul of their marketing, their website, packaging, their comp plan is brand new because they really do want to continue this amazing legacy of the company into the next generation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start and then I'll pass it on we're all going to take a little chunk of this. And like I said, if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat as we go. Okay, So you're going to see the word, oh, is it going to go? There we go. You're going to see the word ageless a lot when it comes to Shaklee, because that's one thing that I would say is kind of the highlight is we want to stay healthier for longer. We want to stay younger for longer. And that's what a lot of these products are all about. You'll see we have beauty, but we have so much more from, you know, supplements to home care to non-toxic living, all the things. But it's all kind of intended for us to be as healthy as long as possible so that we can be around for the people that we love. The mission is to bring true wellness to the world, one person, one family, and one community at a time. And so one thing I think all that's been neat for all of us is that although we can do this on social media, this company has such a huge emphasis on in-person as well, which is very refreshing because they truly care about each and every person that joins. And it's not just about being viral on social media, but it's really about connecting. You do not need a large social media presence here to have a lot of success, which is really cool. Okay, so they are a global leader in this space with over $10 billion in wellness products across the United States and Asia. So one of the things that's really cool is that you'll see that their nature is very important. So we have this background as a company that they try to keep things as natural as possible, but science is also very important to them. And so it's clean, we call it clean and clinical. And so just a couple of fun facts that you may not know about Shaklee is that they actually invented the first multivitamin in the United States. So now, you know, multivitamins are all over the place, but they were the very first company to create that. And the company was actually started by a chiropractor who back in the day just really wanted more natural solutions for his patients. So he kind of got to work to create the multivitamin. He also created the first plant-based protein powder in the world. So that's really cool too. So yeah, here's those clinical studies. So they don't just say, oh yeah, these products are great, but they actually put the time and money in to prove that they are beneficial. So it's really fascinating to look at all the studies that have been done on the products because you're like, whoa, this is actually legit. And then we have a lot of patents and pending patents as well. Okay, some other cool facts about Shaklee is that they actually have really had a big focus on performance and athletes. And so Shaklee has powered over 152 Olympic gold medals. So there are actually Olympians who are sponsored by Shaklee because our products are so high quality, which if you know anything about the standards that Olympians have to go through before they can get whatever they use approved, it's very strict. And so the fact that we have products that meet all those standards is just so cool. In fact, we can even have we have to do this soon, but we can even have some of these medalists on our calls so they can talk about the products and kind of give us like the inside scoop. So that would be fun to do too. Okay, this is also really cool. So since 1995, Shaklee products have been on every NASA space mission, which is just like, wow, think about that. I mean, who would have ever thought? Again, when I heard that, I was like, what? Shaklee? Like, that's so cool. And then this is really cool too. The products are we say extremely sticky. So once people try the products, they really do love them. Returns are very, very few. You will seldom get a return. And if you do, it's usually because, I don't know, it's not because, oh, the product's bad. It's just, oh, I want to try this or that instead or whatever. But product returns, like you do not have to convince people to try our products or to stay on them. One other thing that's really cool too, fun fact about Shaklee is they actually swapped out all of the cleaning products in the White House to be non-toxic. So that's one thing the CEO did several years ago is that all of the products in the White House are now Shaklee. Okay, they're also very into sustainability. So they're a sustainability leader in the world. They were the first company in the world to be carbon neutral. Basic H was the first official Earth Day product. And they also have partnered to plant over 1 million trees with the Nobel Peace Prize winner. And then this one is all about quality. So kind of diving more into the quality of how high they set the bar. So they really go, I'm not going to go into all these. If you want the slideshow after, just let us know so you can really dive into these little statistics. But this is just talking to how many things they do to make sure the quality of the products is good. So we mentioned this Beyond Organic thing that they have. So if you see the word organic on something, it means that they have tested, but not always after the fact. And so what Shaklee does is even after the fact, they're going to test again to make sure nothing has snuck into the products, even after it's been done. So it was really interesting. I got to go to a conference this summer at Shaklee, and they were talking about how the last several years, because prices have gone up and COVID and all the things, that obviously the product prices and to make things has gotten higher too. And so the CEO actually went to some of these companies that produce products for us, and he said, how can we get the price down on some of this stuff? And he's like, and the answer was, well, you can just do what a lot of wellness companies are doing right now, and they're just lowering the standard. And he was like, no, we will never do that. So one thing about Roger too is that he is a billionaire. And so financially, he is totally in good shape. And so he's never going to cut corners. He is all about doing what it takes to get the job done well, which again just kind of puts you at peace because you don't have to worry about cutting corners and all of that. So yeah, you'll see here lots of tests done to get rid of harmful contaminants, and then all the testing down here too. All right. This is similar to what I said before, but it is the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. So that basically means that we actually have, again, the studies to back all of our products, whereas a lot of these companies, they might have reviews from customers, but they don't actually have the clinical studies to show that the products do what they say that they're going to do. And then this one is really cool too. I'd encourage you to go, if you go to the website is shakleetools.com, you can look at our landmark health study. And what they actually did is they did this study where they watched people who had been on Shaklee supplements and then people that had been on other like off-brand supplements, maybe things you get at Walmart or whatever. And they followed them for 30 plus years. And what they did is they were able to see how much more the biomarkers had improved for the people that were on Shaklee products long term. And if you see some of these people that have been on products for decades, you are going, oh my goodness, you look amazing. That was the first thing I noticed at this conference this summer. I was like, how are you 80 years old? How are you 90 years old? You look fantastic. You're moving around. You look vibrant. But you know what they say? They're like, oh, Shaklee. They're like, I've been doing this. You know, some of them are like, I've been on products since 1976 or whatever. And they are literally so excited about it though. And they're just excited you're excited about it. And so for me, again, that was just so awesome to see that these people have been around the block and they still trust these products after such a long amount of time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Meredith, right?
Yes. Okay. I'm still just like, as you're going through all that, Amber, I'm like, I can't even believe all of this. This is so incredible. Okay. So kind of like what Amber touched on, Shaklee covers several different aspects of the wellness industry, including nutrition, body, and home. And then, so thinking about inner and outer ageless. So inner, of course, would be focused on the nutrition side of things. Outer would be what you're putting on your body, the skincare, what you're using in your home, all of that. And what's really cool is that the healthy aging wellness market is huge and it's projected to double over the next 10 years. And so like this says, people are 3 times higher spending when they purchase skincare and nutrition. And because we offer both of those aspects, I've been telling all of my customers, it's literally a one-stop shop for all things wellness. So that has just been super, super convenient. The repeat purchase rate is really high. Nutrition products especially have a 53% higher repeat purchase rate. So going on. So just a little bit more about some of the nutrition since we're talking about inside. So I think somebody else is going to go a little bit more into detail later about this Ready Set Wellness Bundle, but I want to talk about it because it's been just a huge hit for myself, for my customers. This is a really awesome option to start with at Shaklee. And somebody please correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I think that you can only get the Ready Set Wellness Bundle as your first purchase is what I understood. And so it kind of touches on several different, it's like the holistic starter kit, basically. You get your personalized vitamins, which I'm going to talk more about here in just a second. You get a month's supply of that. You get to choose 2 flavors of the Life Shake. And then you get to choose an extra product of your choice. And I think there's about 6 or 7 different options there. And so that's just a really great starting point for us and for our customers. Okay, so the next big area that is just one of the best-selling things here at Shaklee, and like Amber talked about, released the first ever multivitamin, is the vitamin. And there's lots of different options here as far as just just a regular multivitamin. There's vitamins for men, vitamins for women, kids vitamins, but then there's also the personalized vitamins called Meology. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. There we go. Okay. So Meology, this has been so eye-opening for me. I'll just insert a little personal thing. I have never been a big vitamin taker. I never could really get on like a consistent regimen with vitamins. And it has always just been really confusing to even know, like, okay, what should I take? What's going to benefit me the most? Where do I get all these vitamins from? And so what is so cool here at Shaklee is with this Meology, you can, and your customers can take a free assessment, and it goes through all these different questions. And like it shows you like so many different combinations, decision points and things to put together your own personalized stack of vitamins. And I have been using these for the last couple of weeks and have just been blown away at some of the differences that I've felt. And so these are just such a cool aspect. Okay, so the Life Shake is one of our protein options, and it is, kind of like a full protein complete meal in a glass. And there's several different staple flavors, along with, I think, about 4 seasonal flavors every year. So loving the Life Shake for sure. The 7-day healthy cleanse is another just nutrition tool that we have. A lot of people really like to jumpstart their wellness journey with some kind of a healthy cleanse or a detox. And so this is a great way to do that. And it has lots of healthy benefits. The collagen. I am in love with our collagen. So it is the most complete collagen. It's called Collagen 9. And it just, if you know about collagen, you know how many benefits there are in terms of just hair, skin, nails, but also joints and things like that. And I also love that our collagen has 10 grams of protein in it. So that is a really popular option. It sold out. It says 4 times in the first 6 months, and I can see why. It's really good. And then Vivix. So this is it's showing them in gummy form, but I know there are a couple other forms of this product called Vivix. But basically, this is a super special anti-aging at the cellular level. And I actually started taking these a couple weeks ago. They're super tasty. But it's just really fascinating, like the science behind it and how it does affect your aging at the cellular level and how it helps with inflammation and just certain things that cause aging at the cellular level. So, and I know that it's also been featured in a lot of magazines and things like that. So super cool product. I think I'm passing it to you, Kelsey.
I mean, I'm already signed up, but like this makes me so excited. I want to sign up again. I like am falling in love with Shaklee all over again. Okay, so I am going to talk about the multitaskers. So I love the multitaskers. And as you imagine, if you're thinking about multitasking, it's doing multiple things at once. So that's what these products do is it's one product, but they do multiple things. So into the next slide, like you can see the Up and Glowing has energy, so from the green tea extract, but then it also has the beauty, so it has the collagen in it as well. And it's so good. It tastes like a vanilla latte. It is so good. And then the Good Gut and Go, which I take every single day. It also, so it has fiber in it, but it also is a pre-probiotic. So again, 2 for 1. It's a multitasker. And then you can look at the another one we'll just go over is the cheer up and chill out gummies. With election, I feel like everyone in America right now needs a cheer up and chill out gummy. But they're so great because they reduce stress, but they're also a mood booster. So as you can see, like we've got 5 different products. That I have never done the rest and rewind, but that is one on my list that I need to do. So yes, we love the multitaskers. So talking a little bit more about like train harder and like the different supplements that we have for like fitness. We have a supplement called Energize, which is our pre-workout. It is phenomenal. It tastes like a lemon drop. So I love it. We have a product called Hydrate. So this is going to be your an electrolyte drink that you can drink. And I like to actually mix it with my pre-workout. It's so good. And then we have a product called Build. And this is the 100% grass-fed whey protein shake. And what I love about this is that it has high protein. So depending on how many scoops you use, it can have up to 30 grams of protein and it's very low carb. So I like to eat my carbs. So it's great for that. Okay, so really great. If you're familiar with Body, we're just going to quickly go over some common swaps that if you're familiar with the Body products. So if you were a Shakeology girl, a great swap would be our Life Shake. So our Life Shake is awesome. Energize for Energize. It's just, it has different ingredients in it. Ours at Shaklee does not stain. Can I get an amen? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so for protein would be Recover to Build. We talked about Build. And then we have a 3-day refresh at Beachbody, but at Shaklee, we would do the 7-day healthy cleanse, which I actually think is an easier cleanse to do. I like it. Collagen from Body would be Collagen 9 over here at Shaklee. And then our greens from Body would be our organic greens booster here at Shaklee. So easy swaps that you can make if you're familiar with the Body products. And I get to pass it back to Christine.
Okay, I am going to dive in to Christy, what you were asking. So we're going to kick off first with becoming a member. So if you spend $150, you get free shipping. You also get 15% off everything for a lifetime, which I think is really cool. And then you also get access to loyalty rewards, which I have actually already used my loyalty rewards, and I have only been with Shaklee for 2 months. And so they build quickly, and it's really cool because like I did my kids' vitamins with loyalty rewards. So I got the kids' vitamins for free. So you earn loyalty rewards if you put it up in your monthly system. And so anyways, I am going to, so what I was going to say about becoming a member is that is also like for all of your customers. We're going to talk about the ambassador side, but I think that that's really neat that each person that comes to you can become a member so simply and not have to pay, because where I came from, you had to pay to be a preferred customer. And this one, you don't have to. You get that membership. When you spend that $150, you get the 15% off, you get the free shipping. And so you actually get the same benefits as you do as an ambassador. So, Christy, when you were asking about, do you get a discount once you become an ambassador? You actually do, but so do your customers. So it's pretty much the same. So we have a retail price and then we have a member price. And so you will be the member price. But like I said, you'll earn the loyalty rewards and stuff as well, which is really cool. So now I'm going to talk about the benefits of becoming an ambassador and sort of our comp plan. So I will tell you, this is what truly drew me to deciding to go headfirst and go ahead and dive back into network marketing, was because the comp plan that Shaklee has put together is insane. So I was terrified to start all over again, because after building a business for 5 years, and I know all of us that have been in the network marketing industry sort of felt this as well, is you had thousands of customers, and to start back at square one, I just sort of was like, eek, I don't know that I want to do this again. But because of our comp plan, I was able to replace what I had literally built up, which over the last year, it sort of drifted a little bit from body and they changed things, but still, I was able to fully replace my 5-year that I built up monthly income within 1 month at Shaklee. So my very first month at Shaklee, I made more money than I did the previous month of my 5-year term at Body. So you all, that's just insane and speaks volumes. So let me dive into it a little bit. So you get to earn 30% commission on all new customers for the first 30 days. So any of their purchases that they make in the first 30 days, you get to earn 30% off of their commission. 30% off their sales, right? Then this is the coolest part. You get to earn a $75 bonus for every $500 that is purchased from 3 customers. So it's okay if like you have 3 new customers come in and it doesn't total 500 yet. That's okay. It just keeps a little tally and it's going to keep going. So like your 4th or your 5th customer might come in and bump that to the 500. You just have to have at least 3 new customers inside that 500 window. But say you have the Ready Set Wellness bundle, that's $179. You have 3 to 4 people purchase that. You have already earned a $75 bonus. Plus the 30% commission that you get to make on all those orders. So it's just, I mean, honestly, like I think everyone that has been a part of Shaklee and is an ambassador now, I mean, we're all like, can we just shout this from the rooftops without sounding crazy? Because no one understands how insane this comp plan is. It's amazing. So then after the first 30 days, for those returning customers, okay, you will sort of move up on this tier. You could earn any place from 10% to 40%. And it just depends on what you're selling monthly. But let me tell you something. We have such a high return rate that what we are all finding is that each month it's sort of building upon and building upon and building upon. It's not like you're starting back from square one each month, which has been also the biggest blessing too, because it's like you're forming all these relationships, right? And it's not just a one-time a year purchase. It is these people are falling in love with the products and they're wanting to try other things, or they're wanting to reorder their vitamins. And so it's very simple to get to the 20 and 30% mark very easily. So that's a huge plus. So I think I touched on all of that, and now I'm going to jump to our Ready Set Wellness kit. And I know Meredith talked about this, but there's a few ways you can get started. So one of our big ones that we recommend is the Ready Set Wellness bundle, and I also recommend it for all of my customers as well, because you only can get it as a first-time customer, or if you're signing up as an ambassador, like as a first-time ambassador. So you get your personalized vitamins, you get your life shakes, and you get 2 flavors. And then you also can choose any add-on. And I encourage people either to do the 7-day cleanse if they're really wanting to jumpstart that, like, knocking off that 5 to 6 pounds right away. Or our collagen, because as everyone has spoke of, our collagen is amazing. And then of course there's all the other multitaskers in there too. I mean, it's hard to pick, but anyways, you get all of that for $179. And so it's a great way to get started as an ambassador. And I know that the question will be asked is, well, what do you have to pay in order to, be the ambassador? So you would buy the kit, and then Amber, I mean, as of now, they are not, it's $49 for our ambassador sign up. Yes. Okay. Sorry, we've had like a couple of different months, they do different things, but right now it's $49 to get your business kit plus whatever you order. But I am telling you, you will earn that back within an instant. And honestly, everyone is earning those $75 bonuses. And so I'm like, just think of 30% commission plus $75 bonus. You're earning your money back. So don't even fret about that. Okay. Moving on to the next one. We have, okay, so the Ready Set Wellness Bundle is one option. Another option that you can do is they put together these business starter kits now. And so we have 3 choices doing that as well. And it's a 2-day shipping because they're doing that. So that way they can get it into your hands quickly. So you can start, taking the products and being able to sell the products. And so the first one is they're all the ageless enrollment bundles, but Good, which comes with the Vivix, which Meredith was talking about, is insane and incredible. The Wands, which we all could just speak wonders of. I mean, they're just amazing. And it's all natural Botox. They are amazing. And then the collagen. And then the Better, it comes with our face line, which I am nutrition and fitness and wellness in the way of like health. Never did anything in the way of skincare ever. And like, I think it's just like not something I ever cared to take care of. And I have been blown away by our skincare. My face is brighter. I didn't realize how dull my face was. So our skincare line is incredible. So anyways, it comes with our skincare line, like our youth line, the Vivix, the Wands, Life Shakes, collagen. And then the best comes with all the things. And so anyways, it comes with all the multitaskers, and you can see it comes with also, it looks like lotion and stuff. So it is definitely more expensive, but think about the fact, I always like to tell people this, like, where else can you go start a new business and pay $49 to do it? And so, yes, you're going to spend a little bit buying your products, but they're products that we should be taking anyways, and especially these vitamins and all the other things. So I'm like, sometimes when you think about the fact of like what you're putting into your business, there's no place else you can go start a business for less than $1,000. There's no place. So anyways, think about that as you're getting started, because you're going to want some of these products. So, okay, I think that's it. And I'll pass it back to Amber.
Ooh, all right, I'm muted. Thank you so much. That was so good, you guys. Loved just hearing, we've all said, it's like affirmation that, yep, we made the right choice. We love being here. It's so fun. So does anyone have questions? If you want to pop those into the chat, and feel free, you can also just privately message whoever invited you to this or whoever sent you the recording. But yeah, we would absolutely love to have you on our team. It's just a really fun time of year to start too, by the way, because there's so many fun things going on for the holidays with Shaklee. Coming from a fitness company, usually like November, December was totally dead. And then you kind of had to wait until like end of December, January for things to pick up. But here you get the best of both worlds because you have all of the beauty stuff, which for a lot of us, we might have thought, I don't know if I'll like cool that, like what I thought when I started was cool that they have that, but like that's not really going to be what I do. And it's funny because now I'm selling more of that than the wellness side, which is crazy. I think partly it is that time of year, but yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff going on with the beauty side. And then the cool part too is then We will also have a bunch to go in the beginning of the year as far as wellness side too. So yeah, I don't see any questions. So we'll just say good night. But of course, reach out if you're ready to get started. We have a great training and getting started guide so that we can get you up and running. Okay, we do have a question. So once you're a consultant, do you get a discount? So yeah, it starts the same as our customers, so 15%. So I actually love that because sometimes it can be confusing because you're like, should I sign up as an ambassador or a customer? And if you really aren't sure if you're ready for the business yet, it's best to just stay a customer because you're going to get the same discount. But if you become an ambassador and you work your business, you can actually get up to 25 off. But that doesn't start day one. That happens as you put the work in and you can earn up to that level. So we do have some fun discounts once you get going, but there's not like the discount. I know like at Beachbody, it was like a discount coach. We don't have anything like that here, which makes it so much more simple and easy and no monthly fees either. So, all right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, you guys. We'll see you later. Good night.